Welcome back to Worldview. Now, for several weeks, we covered a Wisconsin dairy farmer's fight against the Department of Justice in that state for the right to sell his milk to members of his own raw milk buying cooperative. Well, it seems the government overreach disease has found yet another host. This time, another family farmer is under threat for trying to raise and sell pigs this time. You really cannot make this stuff up. This time, red state government-controlled Michigan and their Department of Natural Resources, or the DNR, with the state attorney general, a guy by the name of Bill Schuette, are asking the judge hearing Mark Baker's case against them to now turn around and fine him $700,000. That's about £450,000.
The Attorney General's office wants me fined $700,000. Now, I'm here to tell you that this struggle has gone on for about 1.5 years now. And most of you just see my face up here. And then you see the faces of the attorneys on the other side. As if it's two entities that come together and are trying to settle some differences here. But that's not always the case. The Attorney General's office, they get paid whether they come to work or not. I only get paid if I come to work here at the farm. And fighting this battle has kept me from the farm a lot. And even when I'm here, I'm not really here. And it's been really difficult. They've made it impossible for us to sell our pigs because, after all, I hope you remember, they've said that they would fine my employees $10,000 per animal. They would fine my customers $10,000 per animal. They said they would fine my associates and my employees $10,000 per animal. Well, here it is. They've dropped the amount, $700,000 that they want to fine me. Now, there's been sacrifices that have had to be made to fight this struggle. I've had to make them, and I'm willing to do that. But the sacrifices my family has had to have made, that really isn't fair.
Now, DNR believes Mark has 70 illegal pigs being raised in violation of something called an invasive species order, or an ISO. Now, possession of prohibited swine carries penalties of up to 2 years in jail and fines of up to $10,000 per violation. So do the math. They're asking for the maximum amount of fine under the law for raising what the state deems to be the wrong breed of pig. Now, the very serious side of this case is that the ISO was drafted originally to remove feral or wild pigs, but the way the DNR is interpreting the order, it could be applied to any domestically raised hog, threatening the livelihood of small family farming operations, as indeed in this case it is. Joining us today from Michigan is farmer Mark Baker. Now, he's the owner of something called Baker's Green Acre, to discuss the threat to his livelihood. Mark Baker, welcome to Worldview.
Thank you, Dennis. How are you?
I'm doing well, sir. So nice of you to be able to join us today. I'd like to start, if I could, at the end. Now, there was a hearing last week on this issue where the court was basically asking the judge for, I guess, the equivalent of a summary judgment, saying that they wanted $700,000 from you right now. So what was the ruling in that case?
The judge heard both sides. The DNR wanted $700,000 in fines, and they wanted the case dismissed, my case dismissed. I've sued them. So they don't think that I should have a day in court, and they think that I should just be making a withdrawal from the bank and turning it over to them. And what we asked the judge for was a trial, and hopefully a trial by jury. And the judge took both arguments under consideration, and he's going to issue what they call an opinion. And from that, we have a trial date set for August 27th.
Now, this whole thing seems like, as in the case of raw milk, a broadside against the rights of local farmers, against obviously the big factory food industry. What exactly does it feel like from your perspective as a small local farmer trying to eke out a living here?
Well, I'm from New England, and maybe some of your people can relate to this, but I've always wondered what it felt like to be a colonist in the New World and have British troops occupying you and, coming in your house when they feel like it and telling you what you can do, what you can't do, never really having a set of rules that's in stone that you can rely on. These guys are pulling rules out of their back pocket, and they live right here with us. I mean, this is the government that we have amongst us right now.
Your video, though, showed the effects on the family. Now, there was a very telling line in there where you said the Attorney General gets paid whether or not they show up. But every time you go to court, that means less time spent working on your farm. This actually costs you real time and money. How does that work for you?
Well, it's had some bad effects, but it's had some good effects too. My sons are getting older, and I've been forced to turn more responsibility over to them because I have to deal with lawyers and TV people and radio people, and so it's had mixed effects. But we've had breakdowns because of inexperience out there. We haven't had any accidents so far, and that's good. It's put some lines on our faces and some gray hairs on our heads. It hasn't, it's tough. It's tough.
We're talking with Mark Baker, the owner of Baker's Green Acre, on Worldview with Dennis Campbell. Mark, that's an interesting name, Baker's Green Acre. Where does that come from?
Our first farm was out in Montana, and it was really brown out there, and it was kind of a tongue-in-cheek. We didn't think we were actually going to be farmers. I was active duty Air Force. We just had a little place, and we called it a farm. It was a 13-acre place where my wife had a horse, and we had a few chickens. It's kind of a joke.
I thought for certain it was going back to the old Eddie Arnold television series, but that's good.
Yeah. It's kind of like that because we're not really farmers. We make believe farmers. We're full-time professional farmers now, but when we started, we were bush leaguers.
Now, Mark, a case like this has got to end up costing you so much money. I mean, thousands upon thousands of dollars. How does not trying to pry into your finances, but how does a small farming operation manage to keep a case like this going?
Well, a farm does not have the disposable income to fight a battle like this, and that's why farms are so vulnerable to overstepping government regulations. And in the past, regulatory agencies have gotten what they wanted, but from the start, we were working with Farm to Consumer Legal Defense Fund, Pete Kennedy's organization, and they've made funds available to us to keep lawyers paid and lobbyists paid, and it was essential. And that organization is very worthwhile for anybody that is in the farming business or likes to eat food off the farm or just feels strongly about being free people. It's very essential that we support them.
With Detroit declaring bankruptcy just within the last 48 hours, you would think that the state of Michigan and its governor Snyder would have better things to do than to pursue you and your family. So why on earth are they going after you in this particular case?
Because I stood up and said no. They are used to people from Michigan, when they're told to jump, they say, how high? And I think that is a travesty. So I said no, and they don't know what to do when they stamp their feet at you and you just say, no, I'm not going to do it.
Is the strategy then to just sort of bleed you dry with, death by 1,000 cuts here?
Seems like it, because we tried to get to trial last May. This whole thing started in 2011, and they said that we couldn't sell any of our pigs starting April of 2012. So that effectively has embargoed us, and we have animals that are eating, but we are not allowed to sell those animals. We have to feed them, but we can't sell them. If we do away with all the animals, then we don't have standing to be in court. So that's their strategy. They surely don't want to go to court, because then they'll have to explain some of the foolishness that they've been engaged in.
Indeed. And you have also been raising funds through your own website, have you not?
We have.
Just tell our viewers what the address for your website is, please.
Our website is bakersgreenacres.com, and there's a little donate button there. And I'll just say, I've been saying this for a while, this is a little bit of a revolution that we're going through, but it's not being fought with bullets. It's being fought with money, because they have lawyers that they hire with our tax dollars, and then we have to hire our own lawyers. So we definitely need dollars and cents to fight this. It's the only way. And I think it's easy for people that are far away from us to send dollars, whereas if this was the Revolutionary War, you'd have to come here with your musket and then take on the redcoats.
It seems like deja vu all over again, because I mean we literally went through this just a few weeks ago with Farmer Vernon Hirschberger in Wisconsin. And you, Pete Kennedy, Liz Reitzig, I saw you mention her in your blog, others, they've been fighting this good fight for such a long time. And Elizabeth Gamsky-Rich, Vernon's attorney, said she got up every day ready to fight against the government and the special interests that seem to be trying to stop small farmers like yourself. What is it that motivates you to keep fighting when the deck seems so stacked against you?
I guess it's a combination of being from New England, serving in the military for 20 years, and then being Irish. I got a hard head, and I don't like being told what to do, especially by people who are not authorized to tell me what to do.
Brilliant. Well, Mark, I wish you the best of luck, and I want to thank you for taking some time out of, I know, what is a very long and busy day this time of year on your farm.
Yep, hot too.
Mark Baker is the owner of Baker's Green Acre. He joined us today to discuss the threat to his livelihood as a hog farmer. He's facing a $700,000 fine and continued court case going on. We wish him the best of success. You're watching Worldview with Dennis Campbell. Keep it right here.